It's like when a heavy downpour suddenly stops, and all that remains is silence. A soul steps into the stillness, where time ceases to flow, where the sense of self begins to dissolve, and nothing feels real, yet everything feels true. In Part 1, we witnessed the moment when the soul left the body. Now we open the second door, entering the realm that many spiritual traditions call the intermediate space. Not heaven, not hell, but a mysterious in-between, where the first trials unfold, where light begins to pierce the void, and where whispers from unknown dimensions echo like fragments of a dream. Throughout ancient civilizations, this realm has been mapped through 3 sacred paths: Duat, from ancient Egypt, the underworld of soul-testing trials; Bardo, from Tibetan teachings, a realm of radiant light and illusion; and the modern concept of life between lives, revealed through regression hypnosis, a space where souls rest, reflect, and choose their next incarnation. Each doorway holds a challenge. Each light is a choice. And one soul, lost among countless paths and beams of light, will reveal what it means to be truly lost, and what it takes to find the way home. Imagine standing on the banks of the Nile under a night sky that never ends, a darkness so deep it feels eternal. This is Duat, the mystical underworld of ancient Egypt. But Duat is not hell, nor is it heaven. It is something far more profound, a corridor of trials, a sacred passage that every soul must walk through after death. Unlike modern concepts of judgment, Duat is not about punishment. It is about truth. Your soul is not condemned by a god's anger. It is revealed by your own heart. The Cosmic Map. Chapters 144-147 of the Book of the Dead. In the Egyptian Book of the Dead, particularly chapters 144-147, Duat is described as a journey, not of miles, but of inner confrontation. There are 12 gates, one for each hour of the night. As the sun sets in the physical world, the solar bark of Ra, the sun god, enters the Duat, carrying light through the darkness. Each hour he passes through a new realm, battling shadows, illusions, and chaos itself. One of these forces is Apep, the serpent of disorder, a being born not from evil, but from the imbalance within the universe and within ourselves. And, at the end of this journey, the soul stands before Osiris, the god of the dead. But Osiris does not judge with wrath. Instead, he listens to your 42 negative confessions. These aren't commandments. They're soul declarations. I have not lied. I have not stolen. I have not caused suffering. Each one is a mirror to your life choices. Each one is a chance to speak your inner truth. Then comes the most symbolic moment. Your heart is placed on a scale, balanced against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and cosmic order. If your heart is heavier, burdened by guilt, hatred, or fear, it is devoured by Ammit, the soul eater, and your essence dissolves into nothingness. But if your heart is light, free, honest, and pure, you are welcomed into Aru, the Egyptian paradise. Endless fields, glowing sunlight, reunion with ancestors, and peace beyond comprehension. Duat as a spiritual maze. Duat is not a linear tunnel. It is more like a labyrinth of memory and energy. Each gate you pass through is not just guarded by a mythical creature. It's guarded by a part of yourself. In one gate, you may face your envy. In another, your regrets. In yet another, your longing for power or your failure to forgive. The monsters of Duat are not foreign beings. They are your shadow self, made visible. Cinematic metaphor. A soul in the maze of memory picture. This, a lone soul, glowing softly, walks through a passage of swirling darkness. The walls breathe with forgotten voices. Doors appear, each one engraved with a moment from the soul's life. The soul opens one. Inside, a memory plays, a betrayal, a lie, a silent act of love left undone, another door, a moment of kindness, a chance taken, a prayer whispered into the night. The soul continues. No one judges, but everything is remembered. This is Duat. Not a courtroom, but a mirror. The deeper message. The beauty of Duat is its neutrality. It doesn't punish, it doesn't save, it reveals. In Western thinking, judgment is often seen as external, but in ancient Egyptian spirituality, judgment is internalized. Your soul is measured by how true you've been to yourself and to the world around you. And the ultimate liberation does not come from worship or sacrifice. It comes from lightness, of heart. From living a life that in the end doesn't weigh you down. Why it matters today. Why should this ancient myth still speak to us? Because in many ways, we all walk through Duat, every day. Each hard decision is a gate. Each lie we tell ourselves is a serpent we must face. Each moment of truth, love, and compassion lightens the heart. So whether you believe in Duat as a real place or a symbolic journey, its message is timeless. You are the one who holds the scale. You are the one who weighs the heart. And you are the one who decides which door to open next. There is a book that has been read beside the dying for over 1,000 years. But it was never meant only for the dying. It was written equally for the living, so that we might die consciously. It's called the Bardo, often translated as the Tibetan Book of the Dead, but its true meaning is deeper. Liberation through hearing in the intermediate state. This book describes what happens right after death, but not in the way we expect. There's no tunnel, no gates, no judgment, only light. Chikai Bardo, the first state of death. The Bardo describes several stages of transition after death called Bardos. The first and most important is Chikai Bardo, the moment right after the last breath. In that moment, a brilliant blinding light appears. It is called the clear light of ultimate reality. The original light of your true nature untouched by ego, memory, or form. But here's the paradox. This light is so pure, so vast, so overwhelming, that most souls can't bear it. Instead of merging with it, they recoil, they panic, and that fear causes them to fall into lower Bardos, where illusions begin. In a sense, liberation is offered instantly, but few recognize it. Visions that follow. Mirrors of the mind, as the soul descends through the Bardos, it enters a realm of visions. But these visions are not sent by gods. They are projections of the soul's own consciousness. You may see radiant Buddhas, symbols of pure wisdom and compassion. They shine with warmth, clarity, and peace. But if your mind is filled with guilt, fear, or unhealed wounds, you may not recognize them. Then come the wrathful deities, fierce and terrifying. But these are not demons. They are reflections of your own repressed emotions, your anger, your shame, your trauma, taking form. You'll hear strange sounds, like thunder or deep vibration. They are not meant to frighten. They are the echoes of your karma, the vibrational blueprint of your past actions. You are free in this space, free to merge with the light, free to let go, but also free to fall back into the cycle of rebirth, because the mind, confused and untrained, often clings to familiarity, even suffering. Central teaching, light versus fear. The Bardo says this: if you recognize the light, you are liberated. If you fear the light, you return to rebirth. In Tibetan understanding, death is not the enemy. Fear is not the fear of death itself, but the fear of truth. The truth of who we are beneath all identity. Most souls don't reject the light because they're evil. They reject it because they don't believe they are worthy of it. And so, they turn away and fall back into the wheel. Cinematic imagery. The soul in the sea of light, imagine this. A soul newly free from the body is floating in silence. Suddenly, a blinding white light expands in all directions. It hums, it embraces, it calls. The soul is drawn to it, but then, images arise, faces, mistakes, guilt, longing. The light feels too much, too honest, and in that hesitation the soul stumbles, falls, and the light fades. Now visions swirl like mirrors, some beautiful, some terrifying, but none are real. They are reflections of the soul's own mind. The challenge is no longer physical. It's perceptual. Can the soul see through illusion and remember its divine nature? What Bardo teaches us today. The wisdom of Bardo is not just for the moment of death. It is for every moment of life, because life itself is a Bardo, a passage. Every fear we face, every truth we avoid, every light we reject, it's training for that final transition. What we don't heal in life, we meet again in death, not as punishment, but as another opportunity to wake up. So when we practice awareness, when we sit with silence, when we learn to hold discomfort without fleeing, we prepare ourselves to recognize the light when it comes. Closing reflection. Bardo is not a place, it is a state of mind, and the journey through it is not linear. It's layered, symbolic, and intimate. The most terrifying figures we meet in Bardo are never external. They are parts of ourselves, forgotten or rejected. And the most powerful light we encounter is not outside us, it is who we've always been. What if death is not an end but a pause? What if between every lifetime there exists a sanctuary, a place beyond time, beyond form, where the soul rests, reflects, and remembers? This is what Dr. Michael Newton, Dolores Cannon, and many regression therapists have uncovered through thousands of deep hypnosis sessions. They call it the realm of life between lives, a state of pure consciousness where the soul returns after death, but before rebirth. Here, there is no body, no voice, no gravity, only awareness bathed in soft white light. The air is still. The sound is more like vibration, gentle, harmonic, healing. It is not heaven, nor a final destination. It is a cosmic classroom, a healing center, a sacred in-between. Soul Council, the higher beings, who guide one of the most powerful moments described in life between lives experiences, is the Soul Council, a gathering of wise, loving, and powerful beings who assist each soul in reviewing its past life. There is no judgment, no shame, only clarity. Your life is shown to you like a panoramic film. Moments of joy, regret, kindness, anger, growth. But what matters most is not success or failure. It's what you learned, how you responded, how your soul evolved. These beings ask only one thing. What did you discover about yourself? The library of memories. Many souls describe visiting a vast, otherworldly library, filled not with books, but with records of every lifetime. Each life is like a thread in a larger tapestry. You can read your soul's journey, feel your progress, understand your patterns. This space reminds us, we are not random beings. We are on a designed path of soul growth, and every choice matters. The healing chambers. After especially difficult lives, some souls enter what is often described as healing chambers, places where energy is restored, wounds are soothed, and spiritual scars are dissolved. Here, light is used like medicine, vibration acts like therapy, and the soul is gently held until its frequency rises again. This is where forgiveness begins, not just of others, but of ourselves. Choosing the next life, when the soul has healed and reflected, a new phase begins. Planning the next incarnation. It's not forced, it's chosen. You might work with guides to select a family, body, culture, challenges, even specific life lessons. Some souls choose ease, others choose hardship. Not out of punishment, but out of a deep inner desire to grow stronger, wiser, more compassionate. There is freedom, but also intention. Every soul signs a kind of energetic contract before returning. Communication through energy and emotion. In life between lives, there are no spoken words. Souls communicate through frequencies, like emotional telepathy. A single vibration can transmit complex understanding, love, or insight instantly. There is no deception, no misunderstanding, only truth, felt directly. This reminds us of a deeper truth. We are vibrational beings, not just flesh and thought. Core insight. No one judges you. But you, perhaps the most revolutionary idea from this space is this. No one judges the soul. There is no throne, no angry God, no divine punishment. There is only self-reflection. The soul becomes its own mirror. You don't move forward because you're told to. You move forward because your inner being wants to, because you remember your purpose, and in that remembering, you choose to return, to learn, to serve, to love again. Visual metaphor. A soul. Hovering in the stillness of space picture. A glowing soul, floating in a vast expanse of light, like a star suspended in a silent sky. Below it lies Earth, swirling with color, emotion, and complexity. But up here, there is only stillness. The soul looks down, not with fear, but with clarity. It sees the lessons ahead, the people it will meet, the pain it will endure, the beauty it will create, and it chooses to return. Not because it has to, but because it remembers who it is. Final reflection. The sacred pause life between lives is not about escape. It's about alignment. It is the sacred pause between heartbeats, the quiet breath between two lifetimes. And in that stillness, we rediscover something we often forget. We are not broken. We are evolving. We are eternal. It begins in stillness. A soul awakens. No name, no body, no memory of gender, age, or past. Just awareness. Just presence. It knows only one thing. It has died. Through Duat, the mirror of shadows. The first thing the soul sees is darkness, but not the cold kind. This darkness feels alive, pulsing, ancient. It steps into the corridor of Duat, the Egyptian underworld. 12 gates of memory unfold like chapters of a forgotten book. In each room, a part of its life is replayed. Not with blame, but with truth. One gate shows a betrayal. Another, a missed act of kindness. A third, silence when it should have spoken. There are no judges here. Only Osiris, watching with calm eyes. The soul speaks its 42 declarations, but not aloud, from its core. And then, the scale appears. Its heart placed against the feather of Ma'at. It waits, but it is not cast into fire or paradise. Instead, the path continues. The journey is not over. Into Bardo, the light we fear. Now, the soul finds itself drifting. There is light, blinding, pure, complete. This is Chikai Bardo, the first light. A soundless call echoes from within the light. Return to who you truly are. But the soul hesitates. The light is too real, too intimate. Inside it, everything would be known. All love, all fear, all truth. The soul pulls away, and as it does, the light fades into forms. Buddhas of radiant peace, fierce deities with flaming eyes, and waves of sound that rattle its very being. None of these beings are separate from the soul. They are its memories, its wounds, its unhealed stories, wearing masks made of karma. The soul watches, trembles, and passes on. The space between, life between lives. Now, everything slows. The soul floats in a space so quiet, it feels like the pause between two heartbeats. There is no time here, only stillness, only self. Around it, others flicker in and out of awareness, not as people but as vibrations. There is no language, only feeling, shared instantly. A presence arrives, warm, wise, familiar, not to command, but to comfort. A panoramic review begins. Moments from life appear. A child's laughter, a broken promise, a single prayer whispered in desperation, but no one points fingers. No voice says, "You failed." The only question is, what did you learn? The weight of I. Freedom in this place, the soul is not told what to do. There are no orders, no threats, only freedom. But freedom, the soul learns, is heavier than chains. It can choose to rest, to return, to remain, and that choice terrifies it. Not because of the pain ahead, but because to choose means to remember who you are, and to carry that remembrance into chaos. Visual metaphor: the soul as light in a galaxy of mirrors. Imagine a single point of light floating in a galaxy of mirrors. Each mirror reflects a part of its essence. Some are beautiful, some are unbearable. The soul begins to understand. The journey was never through space, it was through the self. Each test was not about sin, but about consciousness. Each light was a call to wholeness, and the only way out is in. It was never being judged. It was always being invited back. Back to source, back to truth, back to itself. The realization it cries, not with tears, but with vibration. A ripple of longing and recognition, then a shift. It begins to glow brighter, not because it's saved, but because it remembers the child it comforted, the kindness it chose, the silence it honored, and also the moments it ran from itself, all of it, all accepted, all integrated. The soul turns its awareness back to earth. It's not being pushed, it's being called, not by a god, but by its own evolving heart. Closing line: the soul could be you, and that soul, that drifting point of light, trembling, at the edge of rebirth, that might be you, and maybe, just maybe, you're hearing these words now, not by accident. The intermediate realm is not a place of waiting, it is a mirror, one that reflects your inner truth. Whether in Duat, Bardo, or the stillness of life between lives, every soul faces the same crossroads: light or fear. Not punishment, not reward, but a choice, made from within. And perhaps you're not waiting to die to enter this space. Maybe you're already there. Maybe you are alive, but spiritually standing at a threshold. And every decision you make, every silence you break, every time you choose love over fear, is a step toward your light. So if something stirred in you while watching this, if you felt seen or remembered, share this message. Someone out there may be walking through their own darkness right now, and your share could be the light that reaches them. And if you wish to continue exploring the sacred journey of the soul through realms, revelations, and remembrance, subscribe to this channel. The next chapter is already waiting for you, and you're not alone on the path.